there and welcome to today's video. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can create your Shopify store using the Dawn theme. I'm going to use the latest Shopify Dawn theme version, so you make sure that you are up to date. This is a step-by-step tutorial, so make sure to watch it up until the end so you can learn everything about this theme and how to use it. And now let's move directly to my screen and let's start creating your store and customizing the Dawn theme. So I'm going to use the version 12 from the Dawn theme, and this is the latest one. So now the theme has been added to my store and I can start customizing it. From here, I will click on Customize. And as I always recommend you with any other Shopify theme, you need always to start by setting up the main settings of the theme. Before moving to creating the pages and customizing them, always start with the general settings. So in here we have the logo, so we can add our brand logo from here. Then we can have the favicon, which is this small icon we see in here. We can also add it. I'm not sure if I have a favicon here. Let me try. Yes, I do have one. So I have added my logo and my favicon. If you scroll down in here, you go to the second option, which is the colors. And in here, you need to set up the different schemes for your brand. Let's say, for example, you have 3 colors as your main color palette. Let's say red, black, and white. You might have different schemes where, for example, for a section, you want the background to be black and the buttons to be red. For another section, you want the background to be white and the text to be black and the button to be red. So you play around with how you want to use your colors. Since you are building up the sections one after the other, it's always nice to alternate between the color sections, but always stick to your color palette. Okay, so you can set them up in here by clicking on the scheme and choosing the colors for each one. So for this one, for example, we're choosing the background to be white. We can have a gradient. I'm not going to do that. We are choosing the text color, the button color, the button label color, and outline button and the shadow. If you have set up your brand colors within Shopify settings, you can link to them from here. Okay, I'm going back actually to show you what I'm talking about. If you go in here to settings, under brand, okay, you can set up your default logo. You can also set up your colors. Okay, so you go in here and you set up your colors. If you have set up your colors in here, you can link directly to them in the customization phase. So you go back in here to customize. You go back to settings, colors, and this time when you click on a scheme, instead of clicking here and choosing the color by putting the hex, you can click in here and choose a dynamic source, which is your colors, the colors you have put within the branding sections, within the branding section I just showed you. Okay, so I'm gonna just look around these so to show you the difference, and you can modify all of these schemes. As I said before, the most important thing is to stick with your color palette. Okay, after that we have typography, and typography, it's about the font, so what font you are using and the size of your font. Usually professional themes, more advanced ones, provide more customization when it comes to fonts, but with the Dawn we have the following. We have the regular font for the text, and we have the body font, it means, and we have, I guess, this one, this is for the body, and this one is for the heading, and that's it. We have only 2 options. With some other themes, you might be able to modify a lot of, let's say, font settings, like for the navigation, for the titles, for the subtitles, and so on. So this really will change depending on the theme you are using. But for now, for the Dawn, since many people use it, it's a free theme from Shopify, we have the headings and the body, and you can set them up to match your brand font. You click here on change, you choose the font, and you can in here check if the font has different types. Some fonts, for example, have, let's say in here they have regular, bold, extra bold, black italic, and so on. You can choose between them as well. Well, after typography, we have the layout, and in here we are talking about the dimensions of the store when it comes to desktop. So you have the page width, so you can keep it to 1200 or make it 1600, it's up to you. You have the space between sections, you can add some space if you wish. You can also modify the grid, so when you have multiple items showing, maybe it's product grids or something, you can modify the spacings. I'm gonna keep them as they are for now. After layout, we have animation. So this is like, it's a small animation to reveal sections on scroll. So as you can see, sections are revealed when I scroll. You can have it change the hover effect or keep it as it is, it's up to you. After that, you have the buttons, and in here we're changing everything related to the buttons. So you have the thickness, you have as you can see, now the thickness is way bigger. I'm gonna keep it 1 actually. You have the opacity, so do you want it to make it less, more transparent, for example. You have the corner radius, so if you want to adjust the angles in here. You can also add shadow, so you can add opacity for the shadow if you wish. I'm not sure if it's if you are seeing it or not. And you can make it, let's say, less blurry if you wish. Let me see if we can see it on a product page better. Yeah, you see the shadow in here, so this is the shadow. If we make it, for example, smaller horizontally and smaller vertically like this. Okay, you can play around in a way that the shadows look nice. Now they don't look nice, but just this is how you set it up. After that, after the buttons, you go to variant pills. So if you have like product with different variants, I don't think I have any example on the store. You can change like also how they look, the offset, everything else. So after variant pills, we have the inputs. It's the same idea. We have then product cards, and when we say product cards, we are talking about this element. So when you show a product, so you can have it style like a standard style, or you can have it as a card, like in here. This is a card. You can like add padding for the images. You can add padding for the images. You can change the text alignment to center, for example. You can change the color scheme. So let's say I went with this one, which is the dark one. The color scheme would be different, and you can change borders, you can add shadows, and so on. Okay, this is for the product card. It's every time you show a product separately on a card. This is for product collection card, which is the same idea, but for collection now. So let's say you're stating your collections on the home page. Instead of having your products like listed, you want to list your collections. You do the same thing. In here, you change the collection cards. The blog cards, also for the blog post, same idea. You change everything from here. Okay, then you have content containers. I'm not pretty sure what does it change this section, but sometimes when you are building your pages, you will know where to use each of these settings. You have the media, so this is for everything related to the pictures. You have this for drop down and pop-ups as well, all related to, let's say, the CSS, like the padding, the margins, the thickness, and so on. What else do we have? We have for the drawers, this could be for the cart drawer or any drawer on your store. We have the badges. If you want to add badges, we will see them maybe later. And we have social media, search behavior if you want to change, for example. And we have like currency format if you want to change it. Cart, also same idea. Do you want to have it as a drawer or as a page or as a pop-up notification? My favorite is pop-up notification actually, instead of drawer and page. I think it's less distracting, and it's actually amazing that this option is available in Dawn when it is missing from so many professional themes. You can even suggest like here a collection. Let's say this is a drawer, and I will be, let's say, adding this product to the cart just to show you. So add to cart. I see it like this. If I add in here a collection to suggest, let's say accessories, I should be next time when I'm adding a product, I should be suggestions somewhere. It's visible when this is empty, so I need to empty this so it shows the collection in here. Okay, so after the cart we have checkout and custom CSS. So once you set up all of these settings, and even if one of these settings doesn't make sense or you didn't know where to use it, don't worry. While you are building your sections, you can still go back to these settings and modify them. Okay, now let's head to the homepage. The first thing I like to do whenever I'm creating a new homepage or a new page is to check out the different available sections of the theme I'm using. So Let's go to add section and see what they are offering. So we have featured collection. As you can see from the preview, in here we are showing the products of a certain collection. We have featured the product. So if you have maybe one product or two products on your store and you want to feature a product within your homepage, this could be functional. You have collection list, which is a section that you will most probably use. It's very essential to list your collections in your homepage. We have rich text, which is also a section that you most probably are going to use. You have image with text, image banner, slideshow, collage if you want to show different items. You have the multi-column, and this is a section that I really love whenever I want to talk about my brand, unique selling propositions, or about the behind the scenes or the story of the brand and so on. You have the multi-row, as you can see from the preview. It's very nice also if you want to showcase, like for example, different collections, you can use it. You have collapsible content. It's very, very important in order to do like FAQs or in order to showcase your information in a more digestible way. You have email sign up, contact form, video, which is very nice. I like that we have video in here, blog posts, custom liquid, and page. Custom liquid is when you actually hardcore a section and put it on Shopify. And it's not actually as hard as many people think, because now with ChatGPT you can create your own sections, honestly, and it's super easy. If you are interested about knowing how to use ChatGPT to create custom sections, leave a comment below and maybe I will create a video about it if I have received enough comments. After that, we have page if we want to use it. So these are my sections. And in here I have the app sections. I'm not gonna talk about them now. I'm talking about the sections that came by default with the theme. Okay, slideshow. Before starting with the homepage, let's talk a little bit about the header and the footer section. The header and the footer section are constant or are the same between all of your pages. Okay, so in here first we have the announcement bar, which is a very nice place to announce anything special happening on your store, maybe a discount, maybe to tell them about your free shipping threshold and so on. When you click on the section itself, you change the settings of the section. When you click on the block in here, you change the block itself. So you can create multiple announcements. As you can see, let's say this one is free shipping for items above $50. When you go to the announcement bar section, you can here, for example, make it auto rotate and change it every 5 seconds. So now it would be auto rotating. After the announcement bar, we have a header section, which is the section in here. When you click on it, you can change the settings. So where do you want the logo to show? You can change the menu you are linking for. If you want to have mega menus, you can do that. Well, bravo Dawn Theme. I'm happy that it has a mega menu option now. Menu type is automatically optimized for mobile. This is amazing. So now I have mega menus. Then the header is sticky. I can modify the colors and so on. And you can in here change the mobile layout and everything related to the general settings. Okay. Now after the header, we have the footer, which is also a constant section between all of your pages. You can in here add blocks if you wish, or menu, brand information, text, image, and so on. Now when you finish setting up the header and the footer, you start by creating the homepage sections. You click on add section and you can add the sections that you wish. I like on my homepage to have a banner that show the brand message with a clear call to action. Then below it, I usually like to have either a collection list showing all of my collections. So in this case, I'm gonna put this up. And sometimes I like to have a brand statement, something that tells me tells the customers what this brand stands for. So starting by this one, for example, the first thing we need is to choose the image. So let me go, for example, with this one. You can have 2 images. So this is going to be the first one. Let me select a second image. Let's say this one. So now it's cropped by 2. You can remove this one. I didn't really like how it appears, so I'm going to remove it. In here, you change the banner height. I'm gonna make it small. I don't like it to be too big. So just make sure that the photo still looks nice. You can change the position. I'm gonna put it middle center of the text. And you can change the colors as we have seen with the other sections. When you click on mobile, you see the mobile preview. Always make sure that the text contrasts well on mobile. Going back in here, we can set up this section, which is the rich text. And as you can see, with all this section, we have different blocks, same as with this section. If, for example, I want to remove the button, I remove it from here, or I can add, if I want a caption or a text or another heading, it's up to me. And I fill in here my information. When it comes to collection list, I can only add collections as blocks, but when I click here on the collection list, I can modify the settings of the collection. So for the heading, how would I want it? What's the heading? The image ratio, is it square, portrait, or adapt to image? I always recommend my clients to go with square images, because when you have like one size for all of your product images across all of your store, you make your store look much more professional. It's a little bit confusing to see, for example, once a square image, once a rectangular image, and they will not be aligned and the store will not be looking professional at all. So always make sure to keep everything square. It's the easiest formula ever. Okay, in here you pick the color scheme as well. You can change the mobile layout. So if we go to mobile in here, we can have it 2 columns. I always recommend you to go with 2 columns on mobile, and you can change the padding and top and bottom padding. We can add a fourth list in here, and on mobile, let's see, we can have like number showing 4, so we have it in 1 row, and we can from here like select the collection accessories. Let's say if we go back, we change full set. So this is a collection card. If we go back to settings, if you recall, we talked about collection cards, right? We make it standard. If we change it now to card, this is when these will change to show cards. Okay, you can play around with the text alignment, change the color if you wish, and so on. Going back in here, so after you finish showing your collection list, I think showing your collections in your homepage is extremely important, because you help your customers to understand what do you sell and to find what they are searching for. So always make sure to divide your products into collections and sub-collections, and to make them easily accessible to all of your store visitors. Okay, after the collection list, you can add a bestseller collection. So this time it's gonna be a featured collection. It could be your bestseller, so I usually like even to have it up above here. So it could be my bestseller collection. In here, I change it to change collection. I choose, for example, let's say this one is my bestseller, and so on. You can continue with these sections, adding them out, trying them out, see what works for your homepage, for your business. But it's always important to keep in mind that the main job of a homepage is to help your customers understand what you sell, to get to know you more. So all the information that you put on the homepage should be there to serve this purpose. Okay, now when you go to a collection page, for example, you will see that you can almost do the same thing. You can add sections from here. You can change the settings of the product grid. You can even change like the collection banner if you want to show collection image or not, and so on. When you go to product page, you might find like more options in here. So the first thing that you can modify is the product information, which is everything in this area. So we have the text, we have the title, the price, the variant picker, the quantity selector, the buy button, and the description and the search. So everything you're seeing, so everything you're seeing in here is in here. Okay, if I hide this element like this, it's gonna be hidden from there. If I hide the title, it's gonna be hidden from there. Sure, don't hide the title. And you can add other blocks. For example, you can add complementary products, product rating, pop-ups, and so on. Complementary products is a section that works in alignment with the Shop and Discovery app. So if you set up the product complementary on your Search and Discovery app, they will be showing in here. If you want to know more about how to use the Search and Discovery app, you can check this video on my YouTube channel. Okay, going back in here, as you can see, these are the complementary products. You can do the same thing. You can add more sections like image with text if you want to explain things about your product. Let's say you click on it and you enter the information or the content of the section. You click on the text in here, you change it, you change the button text and the button link, and so on. For the product pages, I recommend you to put as much information as possible. Customers should be able to understand your product well just by looking at this page. And for the product information in here, I highly recommend you to divide them into tabs. Let's take a little bit of time discussing this section because this is the most important section in any product page. So as you can see, if you click in here, you can change the general product information section. So you can enable sticky content on desktop. This means that when I'm scrolling in here, the content remains fixed, okay, as you can see. You can change how the media is. So is it a large, medium, or small? If you go with medium, you will see the difference. If you go with small, you will see the difference. So it will change the ratio between this area and this area, okay? After that, you can choose the media fit. You can layout, change the layout. Now we have the stacked layout. You can go with the 2 columns layout. So you have 2 images next to each other. You can go with thumbnails. So you have the thumbnails below, or you can go with thumbnail carousel. So I guess this is my favorite option between all the options, okay? You can decide where to align media. Is it right or left? I recommend you to stay with the left because this is what people are used to. This is what we have on Amazon. So most people are used to have everything on the left, everything media on the left. In here, you can change the image zoom. So when I click in here, what happens? I'm gonna keep it as it is actually because I sell clothing. And in here, you can like change mobile layout. So I'm hiding thumbnails now. I can show them, for example. And I can play around with the paddings. Until you finish setting up everything related to this section, like the media, you can start talking about the information in here, like what we have in here. So let's say I want to have tabs instead of having all my description like this. So I will click on add block and I will add a collapsible row like this. I will move it up in here. And I will put content within this tab. So it could be, for example, shipping and returns. I can put some text in here, let's say, and I can link to my, I'm not sure if I have a shipping page in here. I don't. I can link to my shipping page in here and show it in here. It's very important to note that if you want to create collapsible tabs with dynamic content, which means content that change from one product page to another, you need to use meta fields. As you can see in here, next to the headline we have this, and next to the content we have this, okay? So this is an indication that we can create dynamic content that's unique per product. And in order to be able to use this, we need to create meta fields. So what happens? You go in here to settings, you go to custom data, and under products you create a meta field. So I'm gonna call it collapsible tab, collab tab headline, let's say. I'm gonna give it its headline, so the type should be a single line text, and I will click on save. Then I will create another one, which collab tab description, and I will give it the type of a rich text. Click on save. So going back in here, let's say in this collapsible row, I'm gonna put the dimensions of this product, or the sizes, or the ingredients, or whatever. So what I do is I go to a product from my store, and you will notice that now by going to my product, I have 2 new meta fields that I didn't have before, which is the collab tab and the collab description. And for the description, I'm gonna put anything. So let's say trial. I'm going to click on save. Those fields are here because I've just created them. So this is the product that we have changed. When I go now in here, I click on connect to dynamic source. I will choose the one that I have just created. And I will do the same for the description. I will choose the one that I have just created and I will click on save. Now you will see that I have a tab which is called ingredients with the content that I have put. So in this way you can create different tabs with different content from one product to another. Meta fields are very important because they can help you to create different content from one product to another. So using them, you can make your product pages way better and way more advanced than without using them. Going back in here, so after you finish modifying your product page, you can go on and work on your other pages. So in here you can modify your pages. So these are the static pages like the shipping or the return. Then after that you have the blog posts also, you can work on them, or the cart and the checkout if you want to modify. You have like a limited amount of things that you can modify about these pages, the checkout and the cart, but still you can see what you have as options and modify them if you wish. So that's it for this video. I hope that it will help you to use this theme or any other theme to create an amazing store for your business. Thank you for watching, and before leaving, don't forget to smash the like button, to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell, because in this way you will get notified every time I publish a new video. Thank you again. Bye bye.